널 기다렸어.
To leave the game with a loss. And Classic is starting to pull that TY run that we saw last week. Just going through, wrecking everybody. Nobody can touch him. And we'll see if Trust takes this win, it would be a big, big upset. And, suddenly he looks like a real force to reckon with. Yeah, he's 2-0, but he's only played 2 games. If he wins a 3rd game in a row versus Classic, it's kind of insane. It might even bode well for him getting out of the group early on.
I mean, if you want to go for just random out there stuff, Classic defeated Zest, and Zest and Trust probably have similar PvP styles, right? I would heavily favor Classic in this one, even if Trust had more results. But let's see what Trust can pull off in this best of 1 Frozen Temple. We're back here on Frozen Temple once again for set number 11. And up here in the top left in the blue, one of our Protoss players, it is Trust from KT Rolster.
And to the bottom right, in red, it is Classic from SKT. Okay, let's see how this one plays out. Classic making just brilliant decisions in that last game. Moving across the map, whittling down the army, forcing an awkward engagement, knowing he had the army advantage and just trying to either force... basically what he was trying to do there was get Hurricane to either just give up the base so he could actually catch up in expansions or take a bad fight because he had the bigger army. And that worked out. We see Classic drop that second gateway. We've been seeing a lot of 2 gates from both PvP players, and we are going to see it again.
Kind of the standard nowadays, unless you want to get out a seriously fast tech.
Yeah. And I think when you go into a best of 1 like this, it's better to go 2 gate.
Play it safe. Don't want to mess anything up. Very similar builds from these 2 players. We saw double Stalker from both players in the last game. Wouldn't be surprised to see something similar here. Although this map isn't bad for Adepts. You can get it up into the main and try to snipe some probes. See what these players want to do.
That was Classic's face when he saw the base.
It really was. He just comes in there, he's not very impressed.
It's a great action shot. We're like, oh, he found him.
He didn't check the bottom left or the top right.
No, he didn't.
In fact, he knows this map and knows that he spawns in the top left. Was not surprised.
Let's see if we get the Trust camera shot when he sees this. He's like, he chroned it. No, nothing.
Nothing.
He was like, aha, 3rd pylon, no proxies.
Steal some air minerals. Oh, and both players go to depths here.
Yeah, gonna be scout territory for both of these guys going into.
Makes sense. You don't really need the Stalkers to deal with the Mothership Core either. Very far away spawns for this 2-player map.
Stargate coming up for Classic. And he wants to confirm what Trust is doing. Oh, he might even hide here in line of sight blockers. And you know how I feel about that. But Trust is going to counter this and follow the Shades, forcing Classic to cancel. And it's just such a funny dance that we're going to watch here. It's a game of chicken.
Yeah, Trust doesn't go for it there, and I think that's smart. But
Classic's going to get by, though. As a result,
Trust needed to react early. Well, he's got 2 Stalkers back at home, so he's going to be okay.
He will get the full scout of the base, though, which is actually just a 3rd gateway. That's all he can see. In fact, he won't see the 3rd gateway because it's proxied.
He may notice that there's no tech, though, and he's like, something's up. Something's wrong.
He didn't check to see if there was like a probe near the minerals making a nexus, so you might just think it's a nexus, but...
Well, he did just check there. We actually didn't get it on camera. I saw the last Adept actually check the natural, so...
Okay, so he's going to add a gate, a robo. Second Oracle, you might even want to think about adding a Void Ray. It's going to be a long time before he takes a nexus, though, with this 3-gate pressure. Oh my god, Shades get in, miss the wall. This is a big problem.
He's going to get a lot of kills from this. He's going to get 3. That is actually a decent amount of kills, but he does lose both of his Adepts for this attack. So, I mean, the Adepts weren't going to be great against the Stalkers on the ground. Maybe it is better to just go for that economic harass instead.
He also gets a full scout of the base and forces an overcharge, which means there's less energy to defend. Oh, this was a bit of a mistake, though. Going up the ramp there, going to get caught. And despite having vision for a little bit, couldn't focus down the pylon. And Probe gets denied, Nexus gets denied, and he's making Phoenixes for the fall, but it's going to give him vision potentially. But like I said, he's not going to be able to take this Nexus for a long time with this Oracle out here. The Oracle is going to come and deny Probes. I guess with the Scout and the Phoenix, he can leave, or rather he's going to leave, save the Oracle, but not entirely sure what's happening. It was a weird camera shot there.
I don't know about this from Classic. Going to lose a lot of his units. Adepts coming in too to help fight here. And Trust takes a pretty good trade. It's pretty even after all. And now he's actually trying to, he's trying to force his way up here. Maybe has pushed a little bit too far. Now the Adepts on Classic's side going to help out.
This is really funny. The Phoenix is going to try to help deal with that Oracle. He warps in again. 3 more Adepts. Second Phoenix is here. And this is just one base versus one base. This is Wings of Liberty PvP or something I'm watching right now. Neither player can expand, as the aggression is too strong.
Looks like Trust will go for it first. And he is 1 Phoenix ahead, which is... Oh, he's actually 2 Phoenixes. Or no, 1 Phoenix, 3-2. Well, here's the fight. The Adepts doing a lot here for Trust. Nice tanking, and he is going to win that fight.
And looks like he's going to lose the Phoenix, though. And an overcharge is about to be available, 10 seconds away. He's blocking this wall. 1 Phoenix going to go down. This Oracle trying to help out as well. Mothership Core coming over here too, just doing a little bit of extra air-to-ground damage to these Adepts, and Trust wants to push this to end it.
And he might be able to. That Mothership Core does get an extra overcharge, which is going to be very key. Does he use it on this pylon? No, he's going to save it.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty smart. He wants to get him up the ramp.
With the 2 Phoenixes there, it's going to be really hard to kill that. There's the overcharge. He was scared the Stalkers were just going to right-click him down. He's starting to work on these gateways. More and more Phoenixes coming out for Trust, which is not going to help him out too much.
Poke that 1 weak Stalker, get him.
All right, look at this.
He does get him.
He actually might be able to commit to the fight's Classic now. 3 more Adepts coming down. He's going to kill the Mothership Core.
Oh, it has full energy too.
Just not much it could be useful for, except very light air-to-ground damage. I think this is the end of this attack.
It's still pretty close, and he is holding it off. Another Phoenix is going to come in here.
I can't see the numbers on these units, so I'm not really, I'm just not entirely sure like where everyone's at. I guess I should be using your screen.
Oh, big warp in there from Truss, and this may be the end. There's no more overcharge, and he's got more units on the ground.
Classic Stalkers are all very low. Down goes the Mothership Core.
He could try to lift like 1 Stalker. It's so close at this point.
All these units so low.
I think Truss has to wait for another warp in. He can't be fighting these fights. He's going to go for the lift, though.
Okay, here comes 3 more Stalkers, though.
He baits him in the warp in with the Stalker.
He baits him hard.
Oh, that's so huge with the lift, and I think Truss
but look at that Zealot. That Zealot's doing a lot of damage at the back, and he's going to have this high ground advantage that Zealot's still not dealt with. And he gets pushed back. If you can't kite a Zealot is better than a Stalker in a 1v1, basically.
This game is getting out of control.
This is just going to happen until these guys run out of minerals.
Trust still has his probe at the bottom of his ramp, by the way. He was thinking about making an Nexus earlier on, but he's just so focused on the micro. He's got the advantage here.
Okay, good targeting by Classic, though. Baiting a few wasted shots there, but this is going to be the advantage Trust. 1 more Zealot coming in. I feel like if Trust micros perfectly, this is just eventually his win, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think so. He's going to snipe that Stalker, but he loses one of his own.
Oh, it's not microing versus these Zealots very well. It's very difficult to do on a ramp like this. The Zealot's just doing so much damage. Tanking, going back, regenning its shields. Probes coming off the line, though, because he knows this next warp into Stalkers might be his demise.
Oh, Trust not the best micro there, and he loses an extra Stalker. That might be the the straw that broke the camel's back here in the defense.
Oh, look at this. The Probe's doing a little bit of extra work here, and he needs that warp in. There it is. And this is going to be it. He's going to commit to it, but I think this is too much for Trust, and I think that's going to be game.
He overcommits, and he's going to lose all of his Stalkers. An extra warp in, but there's just not enough Stalkers, and it looks like Trust should be able to take this win.
Yep, that should be it. Probe's trying to help out here.
Oh man, what a crazy game!
He just didn't even have. He didn't have enough for 1 Immortal. Like if he could have made 1 Immortal, would have made all the difference. He just didn't have enough money on 1 base. Zealot trying to help out. Look at that. He gets another kill. Probe's coming off the line.
Man, Trust. He hasn't had the best micro in this game, but it's been enough. It's been better. He's had better decision making too than Classic.
He's gonna try to force these stalkers out. Oh no, it's Adepts.
Yeah.
Never mind. There you go. GG.
Gonna try to pull some more probes to hold. But warping in that Sentry is the moment where you're like, okay, if you don't get the money force field, you basically lose.
Well, he just made it because he had no money. He only had gas.
Yeah.
This is an embarrassing game to lose, though. To be totally real.
Yep. Very, very close one, and a nice mix-up by Trust too.
Yeah, I actually really like this.
Yeah, GG. This is kind of what I was expecting out of Hurricane over SOS, but Trust brings it out against Classic. And even though Classic gets wind of it, sort of, he barely holds on for so long, but in the end, he just overcommits, overextends slightly, and loses the game.
I think he was hoping that he was just going to have a slight edge on that warp in, and if he does that, he controls the warp and he wins the game. But he couldn't do it. It was like just a little bit off. I liked what he was doing with the Zealots there because the